Drop Boys are back!
Oh, yeah.
League leader still, baby.
Oh, no.
A little bit of an Indian kind of like belly dance.
Yeah.
going.
I think there's a bit of
Loosey
cultural
goosey.
appropriation here. I think you need to calm down with that.
Hey, don't you put cultural norms onto me?
I'll allow it.
Mate, I'm honestly, that was not Indian. That was just all heat. He's just a loosey goose.
Yeah.
Loosey goosey.
Boys, welcome back to the Draft Boys. As always, joined by Miley G, Hito, and myself. Whitey, lads, how we doing?
Oh, I'm actually feeling the
We're doing
flames
good.
today.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling
mean-
loose.
Should we address the elephant in the room? Miles is pretty overdressed.
I know, mate. I know we don't have a dress code in this podcast, but
It's pretty tidy,
Look,
though.
First of all, I'm a bit offended that you said the elephant in the room because I'm looking good.
He's pretty trim. Well, what
Like-
color are your pants?
They're grey.
Yeah, elephant color.
No, I just come from work. I was busy. I had some, after work drinks and flew over the Harbour Bridge in a record time, I will say.
Wow. Obviously, at the speed limit.
Yeah,
Obviously. Or 71.
basically.
71 over the bridge.
Yeah.
You get away with that every day.
gotta be careful.
Boys, I mean, I kind of wanted to get straight into talking about some of these late comebacks this week.
Yeah. There was
Just a couple.
Hectic.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, probably my favorite, just because I hate to say this, but I'm low key becoming like a little bit of a Tottenham fan
Because of Ange.
because of Ange.
Because I'm loving big Ange.
I never thought I would
instead.
be, because Tottenham is usually my least favorite.
They are. You hate Tottenham,
Well, I don't like to use that word on the podcast, but yeah, I fucking hate Tottenham.
but not anymore. It does.
Well, not anymore. And I mean, that comeback, wow. Like, what was it? I think it was the 98th minute, 100th minute, like heaps of extra time. 112th, I think one of them was. Anyway, it was ridiculous.
Crazy. Yeah.
And the fucking Richarlison header, like the comeback kid.
Mm.
And then, like, what a goal from Kulusevski.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, cutting back and scoring that. And you just see those fans behind the goal, and it is just fucking
Just mental.
bedlam. It was crazy. The scenes.
Absolute scenes.
But that wasn't the only one.
No.
Any others that you boys liked? I think there's one in particular, Heat.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed Liverpool's little comeback. Bit of
Yeah.
a stressful watch.
I'd say a game of two halves, that one.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
You going to commentate to it? Or
Well, I mean,
Peter Drury
look,
would be a bit jealous of that.
I watched the
last comment.
game and I was thinking about you watching it the next day because you were busy on Saturday night, weren't you?
Yeah, I think I was a little bit. I actually had it live whilst I was at a boys' gaming night, and I was
Okay.
sitting there watching it. So I was kind of like just turning my head, trying to listen along, and it didn't feel very good watching the first half.
No.
So I'm kind of glad I was a bit distracted because
Yeah.
I didn't actually fully process how bad it was.
Mm.
But I'm glad I was there to enjoy the comeback. 85th minute, Andy Robbo, and then similar to the other game, sealing it with a third.
Yeah, I know. That was
Into the end
crazy.
of the game.
What a goal, though, by Robbo.
Oh, what a great goal!
Nice finish. Very nice finish, I
Yeah.
must say. Yeah. And last but not least, Aston Villa's one.
Yeah.
That was so late.
Mm.
That was in the 90th or something. They got their, I think it was their second goal. Then they notched up the third.
Yeah, was that against Palace? Wasn't it? No.
Shit.
I actually forgot.
I'm blanking.
Yeah, it was Palace.
Yeah.
Because who scored the
'cause
goals again?
Edouard
Oh,
scored
yeah,
just after
yeah.
half time,
And then
and then Duran scored the goal. Then they got the pen to equalize it. Then they got the pen to go ahead, and then Bailey scored
They
the.
sealed it up.
Bailey's
Sealed the
goal
deal,
was
yeah.
nice too. Yeah. Okay.
'Cause It hurt because I've got a soft spot for Palace.
It's oh yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know. I mean, I do a little bit too.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, boys, I want to know points. How do we do this week? I'm not sure who's going first. I'm on 36 points.
Yeah, you're up first,
You're
baby.
well going first.
Oh, you guys did better than me, even though I've got the green tick of approval.
I've
Mate,
got
when you're
green
number
tick as
one, you
well.
can't get any green. You're already at the top.
Fucking
Hey,
asshole.
I'm ticking right behind you, mate.
Ticking.
So
Yeah, fucking ticking. All right. Well, most of my points came from my defenders. I got Pope and Shah, the only ones really chipping in. Fucking finally.
Mhm.
They got a clean sheet, so 6 and 7 points there. Sucker with a little assist. He had nice 6 points. And then Amdouni coming off the fucking bench for Isak.
you lucky mug.
8 points. Needed that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You would have been filthy of that.
You know how close I came to dropping him this week?
Mm.
And then I was like, oh, they've got a double next week. And like,
Yeah.
oh, not next week, whenever it is.
2 weeks time.
2 weeks
yeah.
time. I was like, fuck it. I'll hold on to him.
Yeah.
See what happens. Fuck, look at him. Comes good.
flying.
That's why I
a good
drafted him,
finish.
boys. It was
Yeah.
a nice finish, yeah. He's had a lot of shots from distance, I've noticed. I've kind of been watching him because I've got him.
Yeah.
Never started him.
You got to.
But Burnley,
You're a
remember
manager, you know.
I know.
You're a real legitimate manager.
Thanks, man. But Burnley, remember in their their season last year, they had like a ridiculous stat for long range shots. And
Yeah.
the percentage of them converted.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
They
crazy.
did have a lot of shots. I remember you because you
Yeah.
brought that fact.
I know.
in
I remember
saying
seeing
not
that
a lot
because
of them, but
I thought that was going to be trouble for them because the goals they were scoring were like unlikely goals, like long range bombs.
I like it.
So it was weird the amount that they did it, and a lot of people thought they would struggle because of that. But anyway, Mdouni is one of those guys who's in a great position to kind of do that. So that's his first one. Let's hope there's more for me.
Hey, while we're on Burnley, can we just mention company's outfit?
Oh,
Guys.
the t-shirt with the blaze and then hat,
And the hat.
yeah.
weird combo, man.
I was like, man,
No,
keep
hat
it
chat.
original, yeah?
Come on, boys. Hat chat.
hat chat.
Hat
It's
chat
back.
back, baby.
It's, I mean, Henderson is back in the playing position. Oh no, has he played yet for Palace? Is it Palace
No.
that Henderson went to?
I
But
don't-
he's our hat boy.
yeah, he is.
He is
our
up.
boy.
But
He's
now
our
we've got
OG
another
hat
one,
boy.
company,
company.
just to keep him company. All right, that's enough time on my team.
I think he needs to get some fashion tips from Milo here, though.
Oh, look, I am looking pretty fly.
You
I'm not
look
gonna
like you're
lie.
ready
I'll
to
get-
jump.
Is that
on
a good
this
segue
touchline.
into his points?
I'll
here?
hit him up on socials. See if he'll jump on the pod next week, boys. So yeah, I got 50 points. Contributions from most places, I'd like to say. Thiago Silva got a clean sheet, but woeful performance by the attackers at Chelsea. Won't go there. My two Tottenham mids, Richarlison and Kulusevski, pulling off that remarkable comeback. Big hauls there,
Wow.
and Gakpo and Haaland up top.
Oh,
I'm-
Gakpo got in the goals.
Just before he got taken off.
I fucking
He
can't-
scored
You've
and
got
And then
Gakpo still?
straight off.
Yeah, and so I'm actually quite happy with this front line that I've got, just playing two up top. And I've got Antonio sitting on the bench if I need him, but
I think
Yeah.
Antonio's been looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So you've fixed your team up a little because we weren't loving it.
it's getting better. I've still got a few dead spots that I've got to sort out. But Hito, tell us about your team.
Yeah, mate. Well, I just pipped you to the top spot this week with 52. Yeah, a couple of nice points across my defense. Leno was 6, Trippier 8, Colwill 6. My man Gross in the middle, pulling in 10 points for me.
Yeah, that was
Fucking gross. And he's playing deep this year.
He is very,
like almost
very
playing in the
involved
pivot.
though. Very, very solid like contributions across the pitch, and again for me, he's just become just play every week and
Crazy.
see where it goes. But then also my boy Alvarez up front was my
continuing
Star
this
man
form.
again.
Oh God, how
Absolutely
lucky
killing
did
it.
you get with that?
Is he going to have the year?
Oh, he is. He's probably gonna be that. He's the sleeper.
Mm.
He's the sleeper of the year. After De Bruyne got injured,
Yeah.
it was just like
Oh,
okay.
man.
And now you're looking at the way he's playing. Like fuck, he looks
Mm.
so good. Like that City game. I think he flicked on the ball for Bernardo Silva's
Yeah.
goal,
Mhm.
which was like the creativity I'm seeing from him is not something I expected to see.
No, man, either.
And then now he's like he's on free kicks. He's killing it. I mean, we're going to get into it now, highlight section, but yeah. I mean, it's pretty frothy.
Well, let's get into it.
Well, hang on.
Ah,
Oh, I thought you were hungry, buddy.
I'm thirsty as well.
Well, I got both. Okay. All right. Why don't you preview what we're doing? I'll get it ready.
Yeah, so we're going to do Snack Chat for all our new listeners and old listeners. Snack Chat is probably our favorite section where one of us brings in a snack and a drink and we rate and sometimes berate.
Yeah.
Whitey.
I think we're going to rate tonight.
Whitey's on Snack Chat this week and he's pretty pumped.
So not the strongest,
Okay.
but great bubblegum flavored Bilson's cocktail.
oh,
Wow.
okay.
Interesting, right?
Okay.
Like I'm thinking Hubba Bubba is what I'm picturing.
yeah,
Did you guys like grape Hubba Bubba?
that was my flavor.
That was
baby.
my flavor,
Yeah.
dude. Closely followed by strawberry. I did like strawberry.
I could eat like a whole pack in my mouth just chewing this big lump of gum.
Yeah, looks good. So crack those ones, boys.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good.
And then
These
for
look
our
interesting.
snack,
very colourful can.
It smells exactly like grape Hubba
yeah,
Bubba.
I'm excited, dude. For the snack, I've got Cece's Cornado.
Oh, they're fucking delicious.
Are they? I've never had them.
Yes, they
Oh,
are delicious.
baby.
Wow.
Look at that dusting.
Get that packet up.
little crunchy boys. So what have we got? We've got these kind of weird
like a
looking.
cornado.
Cornet.
They almost look like
Jesus Christ.
overgrown radioactive waste kind of goldfish biscuits that have
Okay,
now.
that is fucking harsh.
No, but like they've grown and they've multiplied and expanded from their goldfish
my
look.
How good's the texture?
I really want to eat nachos with these.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be dangerous. That'd be very dangerous.
So they
Yeah.
taste like a cheese flavored corn chip,
They're airy.
but they're airy. They're like
Light on the
puffs.
tongue. They like disintegrate on the tongue.
Yeah, you can't keep these too close to me.
All right, let me just see.
Yeah, they're real dangerous.
Oh my god, the smell of this is amazing.
Oh my god, I haven't eaten chips in like weeks.
A CC is an Australian thing.
Have you tried this yet?
Yeah, because Doritos are American.
Yeah.
Mm.
So very similar to Doritos. It's kind of competitor out here in Oz for any of our listeners overseas.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to get these bad boys. You have to come to Oz. Is that your first sip of that?
No, I've had a few.
How good is it?
It's so sweet.
It's so good. It's a
Yeah.
one and doneer.
It's a one and done.
I'm
yeah.
very surprised because normally you get the smell and then you just know the taste is going to drop away to be the sparkling water.
no,
But the
it's,
taste is
it's
intense.
constant.
Oh,
yeah.
it punches you in the mouth.
It reminds me of those ciders, the Copperberg.
Ooh,
Is it Copperberg?
love
The ciders where
those,
they're
yeah.
just super flavoursome.
All right, I'm hearing a lot of positive stuff from you boys. I need some ratings here.
Okay, so for the chips,
Cornados.
Cornados, I'm gonna give
They're not
you,
a chip.
okay. I'm gonna give you 8, but
Whoa.
you would have got more if you paired it with a dip because all I want to do is just dip that in stuff.
Really?
Yeah. If you had a nice spicy salsa,
Ooh.
Oh,
I'd be
shit.
so
that
much
would have been
on it.
class.
It would go into the side of the
Yeah.
Cornado.
because it goes in,
Be a
you've
little
got
bowl.
room, and then you can.
That is a missed opportunity.
But it's a blind taste test. You will never know. We know for next time.
I've never tasted them.
Chippy Boys, I'm giving you a solid 8.6.
Yes. Huge.
They're absolutely delicious. The drink, drinkable, but I don't love it.
Oh, no.
I don't love it.
I'm never buying a drink fajito again. I bought that. I'm like, he's going to fucking love this.
It's just very intense.
So sweet, isn't
That's
it?
very
what I
intense.
love about it.
Yeah.
It's literally just like, it's kind of kept us on that train of like, you know, we were talking about the hard solo. It's just like a soft drink with alcohol in it.
It does very much taste like that. I'm just going to give it a 6.3.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck. That's harsh.
I'm similar.
Really? I love this.
Yeah, it's just because you know when you're like it's a one and done type of thing. For me to even get through the one, it's hard because it's just so sweet. But I do like I like that you brought it. I'm glad. So I'm gonna give it 6.5.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Fucking ouch.
but you know,
Let's talk
Mate,
about fantasy.
We say we berate. We've got to give him a little bit
10
of
for
berating here and
commitment,
there.
You know,
Wow.
commitment
Okay.
to the
Wow. My eyes lit up when I saw those cans. I'm really disappointed in you guys.
They're very colourful.
Let's get into the highlights.
Yes.
Now, there were quite a few this week. I'm frothing on some of them, but let's kick it off with a little less frothy. Just some kind of interesting stuff here from Man United. We saw a debut from Reguilon, and a first start for Hoyland. So we haven't really seen much of him. So I think potentially he's going to be their main man up front.
He should be. I mean, I watched the game and he had some opportunities. You know, he had some, to make an impact, but I didn't feel like he took them as well as he could have. A few first touches kind of went astray, but
At the disallowed goal.
And this was their first game without Anthony, mind you.
but I do see a lot of potential there
In
in Hoyland.
In Hoyland,
I think
yeah.
that he could be very destructive in the Premier League.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think he could have a decent run. I'm thinking maybe 10 plus goals
Yeah, maybe
for a
even
debut
more.
season. I don't know.
If he gets going,
I think it's possible. Like the goal was just a bit unlucky that it was offside, but it was it was in the right spot, good finish.
and he does seem like a bit of a confidence player.
Hmm.
So if he starts to bang in a couple, I think you'll see a little bit of like a mini version of Haaland, you know?
So what do you guys think about the way that United lined up? Now I'm pretty sure they played.
Well, it was a very strong team.
It was kind of like a 4-2-3-1 with like Casemiro and McTominay kind of in the pivot, and then Ericsson actually sitting in behind Hoyland. and Bruno out on the right,
Mm.
Rashford on the left. Now, this is their first kind of game, I think, without Anthony.
Yeah.
What do you think about them playing there? Like, they obviously didn't win that game.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not happy seeing my boy Bruno taken away from his favorite spot.
I don't like that either. Why? How do they not have a winger?
Yeah, I don't know why they're not playing Garnacho.
Me neither, especially after last week. I don't know. I just thought he was like the natural.
If only they also hadn't ostracized one of their wingers,
Mm.
they could have an alternative backup.
But who?
But who?
It's all right. They've got Hannibal, though.
Yeah.
They've got
Oh,
Hannibal who
nice
celebrates
segue.
like he's won the game
Yeah.
when he scores when they're 3
Mate,
nil
if
down.
you score a goal like that, you fucking celebrate. That was a nice goal.
Imagine Roy Keane
Oh,
talking about him celebrating that hard when they're down.
it would
3-0.
be
never wanna
amusing.
look it
Give
up.
the boy a bit of credit.
Look,
Comes in and scores that goal. You got to give him
Roy
a
Keane would be a
little bit of
sourpuss about that.
I
He
think
would
that
rip
it was a
him.
bit excessive, personally.
But it was his first goal though as well.
Yeah, I just think that you got to think about the fans as well.
Nah, I like it, man. I don't like
I
when
like it too.
someone scores their first, especially if they're like a youngster or a first goal scorer.
Imagine
They
scoring
just-
your first
Just
goal
score,
for
then they
Man
run,
United.
Then they run to the goal, pick it up, and run back to halfway, trying to redeem the game. It's like,
Come on, you know they're stoked. They've just scored a worldie too.
Okay,
all right, I'm
all right.
moving on from
Right
this.
in.
You're making me annoyed.
Send us some socials. What do you guys think? Do you think that it was a bit excessive or do you think that it was fine?
You know what? You're the socials guy. You got to put up a poll.
Yeah, I'll do a poll.
You got to do a poll.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about Brighton.
What, just playing United off the park?
I mean, wow. They just do it to everyone, it feels like.
Yeah.
16 mil starting 11.
Mm.
16 mil for their starting 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what are they worth now?
Oh,
$1 billion. especially the way they fucking value their players. It's like, oh, he scored a goal? 100 million.
yeah.
100 million.
Well,
Who else
will,
is 100?
will
Oh,
Chelsea
100.
just buy the club this time instead of the players?
Yeah,
just
probably a
buy the
good
entire
idea.
club.
Probably a good
Chelsea
idea.
B.
I actually love that idea.
The Chelsea B team. I like that. Well, let's talk about it. We got Welbeck back in the goals with the start as well.
What a finish.
Was it Ferguson was injured? Is that why he didn't get the start?
Yeah, he had a little niggle.
Okay.
So I thought it was the De Zerbi rotation, but it's apparently there was a little bit of a niggle there. But I have to give a shout out in this first goal. It nearly crept into my best of the week. Adam Lallana's leave for Welbs to
That
finish.
was nice.
Assist of the season
Yeah.
so far.
He like nutmegs himself.
Yeah, just jumps over it to let
Classy.
it through because he drew the defender
Mm.
and then Welbs was just open.
Yeah.
Fucking love that.
It's like the knowledge to know your man's
Yeah,
there as well.
that's like, so experienced. They were just amazing. And then even the moving up to the second goal
He
with
must have learnt that at Southampton, though, eh?
probably not Liverpool.
Not Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we just destroyed Southampton players, except for Mane, actually. But Gross's goal, boys, 30 plus passes, I think it was, before the goal went in.
That was correct. And it started from the back.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Damn.
fired
Yeah.
it from the keeper.
Mm.
And it was nice. And another 10-point haul. You must be
Oh,
fucking loving that.
Mate, the little shimmy from Gross to like, although it's not hard to get away from a United defender these days, but
No.
still.
Well, they are training
the
with
park.
Maguire, so
Yeah,
you know.
that's true.
All right, look, I've left him in here. We talk about him every week, but that's because he keeps fucking doing it. JWP, James Ward-Prowse.
He's settled. He's
He's
at
at least
home.
alive, man. He's like, oh my God, I'm not carrying a team anymore.
The ball from Sufal was fucking
It was
nice,
lovely.
though. Like, it was really nice.
Mm.
When he runs forward like that, he looks gassed.
Yeah.
He's one of those players that, like, I don't know, for me.
Reminds me of Ivanovic a little bit.
Yeah.
I know he said him
Oh,
earlier.
Ivan had the gas back in
Wow.
the
But he
day.
just looked
when he
like-
got older,
But he just
though.
reminds me though of that kind of like Eastern European, like
Yeah,
kind of
bit of an
vibe. Just-
ungainly run.
How good
too.
is that? I haven't heard Bratislav in like 2 years.
How
and
good is it?
Twice tonight we've spoken about.
I know. I
Yeah,
fucking
you
love
got
the
him on
guy.
my mind.
Yes.
He wasn't at the that
Those thighs.
Chelsea had like a bit of a
butt.
what was
Booty.
it? Oh no, we talked about it the other week, didn't we? The charity match with all the old players.
Yeah.
But Branislav was not there.
He was
sadly.
not.
Oh,
he should have been.
disappointing.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I mean, we talk about it every week. So let's move on from JWP. Now I want to talk about Doku.
He is looking good. You know his
The
goal?
count.
Fuck, it reminded me of Mahrez, just on the other side.
Yeah.
I was like, they've replaced Mahrez with someone that plays like Mahrez. well.
It looked way too easy, that goal. Don't you reckon?
Yeah.
But
It
he
looked like they
clears it
just-
from his feet so quickly.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect little like shimmy. It was like boom, hit.
Yeah.
Like the defender didn't have a second to react to that. His feet are so fast. He's so direct.
Yeah. And when he had those little touches outside of his boot, just like keeping it along, very like glue.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
So Grealish has a little bit of an injury. Is that why Doku's come straight in?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a knock.
Okay. So
Look-
Grealish owners would be worried
Be
at
sweating,
Doku's
man.
performances.
Yeah, because they like even last game, I think he got an assist last game.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Doku?
Doku did.
Yeah.
So assist goal in his first 2 games.
Oh, actually, no assist, sorry.
Oh, really? Okay. Anyway,
But
They got
yeah,
ruled
he,
out.
but he had a few.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was that one.
Yeah. But also, like Pep's already said he's loving him. I mean, that's a good sign
Yeah.
that he'll probably get dropped.
Yeah, he'll play like 4 weeks and then just
yeah.
not appear till
he's probably
game
going to
week
be.
30.
He's probably going to cancelo him. Just cancel him.
Well, while we're talking about City, we did mention Alvarez.
Oh, Jesus.
Should we mention him again? That performance again. What's going on? You know?
Mate, new lease of life. It's second season.
Mm.
he's got a
classic
World Cup
warmed
under the
in.
belt.
Yeah, warmed into it, and now he's just like, I'm here.
Mm.
I'm ready to prove myself. Give me the spot, and let's go.
Do you remember when like Jesus did that? Like he never really got on the best run, but like there was a time where Jesus just kind of just took off.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he'd been sitting there waiting in the wings under Aguero,
Yeah.
and then he just started flying.
Hmm.
Could be that.
You know what I'm pissed about?
What?
You know our long-time listener, BD White?
Yeah, BD.
Yeah, he said to me pre-draft, he goes, don't sleep on Alvarez this season.
Really?
Yeah. And it was out of nowhere. Like we weren't even chatting at the time. He just sent me a message.
Does
And
he know like the physio at City?
Well, he's
like,
a City fan.
From the future, man.
He's like, Kevin De Bruyne's definitely doing that hammy. I mean, you don't have to actually be that smart to know
Yeah.
that that's probably going to happen.
So I was actually going to pick him up as my third striker, thinking that everyone won't jump on him, right?
I had him in
and
mind.
this fucking prick over
Yeah.
here,
hello.
you jumped on him so early as well.
I know.
I was like,
Makes me
have
sick.
you been looking at my Instagram chats with BD fucking White?
Well, we all have the login details, dude.
Fuck.
Jesus.
Do you know what though? That paid out nicely for me, just conveniently, because I ended up going so heavy in mids and defenders that it got to a point where I just had to pull strikers, and I was at that point of the list,
Yeah.
so I just had to go. So yeah,
So you had to go into my Instagram,
Yeah.
look at my
I
chats,
did, yeah.
find the BD
Yeah.
White chat.
I needed some backup. I was panicking.
All right.
It all went wrong.
buddy.
Okay, boys. Now I want to talk about West Ham.
Okay.
Now they played City in this game.
Mm.
Honestly, they looked so good in that first half. I mean, attacking wise,
Yeah.
they were getting forward a lot of opportunities. They seemed to be getting through City's defense quite nicely. I mean, they didn't really get to make much of those opportunities, other than obviously the JWP goal. But I just think that, you know, even against City, they're looking good. I think West Ham are ticking along pretty nicely, and I think in the next couple of game weeks we should be seeing even more returns from their players.
And even defensively, they look like they've got clean sheets in them. And you take someone like Zuma, he's got a massive goal threat from corners. And we've got JWP just launching these
100%.
balls into the box. He's got to be a pickup in all leagues.
No, I'd agree for sure. I mean, he went this week in ours. I wanted him.
Yeah.
Or was it last week?
No, this week I got
It was this week, yeah. He's looking like a really good option. And then you've got Aguard. Aguard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't think it's right, but that's how I'm saying.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
It sounds fancy.
Fancy.
But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to shout out their attack. I think it's worth mentioning. And if there's any, you know, West Ham attacking assets available that you've been sleeping on because you think they're West Ham and they've got shitty fixtures,
Yeah.
I think you just give them
Someone
a go.
like Ben Rama or something.
I don't know about that. All right, Miles, I know you're keen to talk about this next bloke. Let's go.
Yeah, Neto. Oh my God. So I'm pissed at myself because I was going to pick him up this week and I had my shade goggles on because I wanted to get into that Brentford attack.
Your shades.
Yeah. Shade. Sade.
It is Ray-Bans on.
No credit for that one. Okay, move on.
And then, yeah, I just slept on it. And then as soon as the game started, he was involved in every single thing. And he's just the creator. And I
He's
remember,
been so direct, though.
yeah, and he's I don't think I've ever seen him play this well, besides the first season that he came in.
Yeah, we
Where
frothed
he-
on him.
Yeah.
The little dribble he did against us on the weekend was so nice.
Oh, but he did that a couple times
couple
off
of
that
times,
left
yeah.
wings. Like it wasn't just for that assist. There was a couple times
Yeah.
where I was like, oh, he is just dominating.
Yeah, he could have scored like 2 goals himself and probably assisted 2 other ones, but they didn't take their opportunities.
Yeah.
And yeah, as we said, Liverpool just have so much depth and
Unfortunately,
stamina.
I just don't have many goals in that team.
But they
Just
have been
really-
performing just okay. Like I know
They
they're
have
not
been.
scoring a lot of goals, but if he is the guy.
And with fantasy, we always want to have the best player in the worst teams, you know? So like if you
Well, not just the worst teams.
No, but
Like having Haaland's pretty good.
yeah, but when we're talking about players like Neto, when we're talking about Wolves and things like that, and you know when JWP was at Southampton, for example, you're not going to pick up anything else besides that player.
Or a Zaha.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
maybe pre this
mostly
year with
everything
Palace.
goes.
Yeah,
Through
So,
them.
I think Neto is definitely an option, boys.
Okay.
We'll talk about him later.
All right, next one. Another one of your boys. Oh, sorry. Neto wasn't one of your boys. He nearly
But
was.
Neto will always be one of my boys.
Okay.
He won me a league. And
Calm down.
That's
Richarlison.
why I'm always loving Ben Rama. Richarlison. Wow. Just when we say that the bloke can only score goals for Brazil, he comes out with that performance. You know, Ange Ball is back. And you know what? I think that there's goal scorers all over the pitch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, after last week, we saw that Hattie from Sun,
Yep.
and then to go in, and obviously they're very late goals. They did, struggle in this game, but they've done it, and they're spreading the love around.
It just shows you what can happen when a team doesn't focus through one player. It encourages the whole squad to contribute and become part of a system instead of a very focal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I also wanted to shout out Brennan Johnson came on, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a offside. His goal was ruled offside, but the first touch he took and the near post finish that he just rockets into the top corner, I was like, oh, fuck.
It was classy.
He's a classy lad.
He's
yeah.
into the Ange Ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what to think about that. I mean, how does he fit into that Tottenham squad? Like, is he gonna start? Are we gonna see Son shift back out onto the wing? What are you thinking?
I think that, Ange was very truthful the other week when he said, I'm just copying what Pep does, guys. He's going to have the depth just to play anyone in multiple positions, and there's just going to be goals galore.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said, I'm just copying Pep, boys.
I love it. Okay, now I want to move on.
Okay.
Trossard,
Oh, I wish we had Bobby here.
Nice
for this.
finish.
fantasy royalty
Really nice
for
finish.
starters. Really nice finish. Yeah. Came on for an injured Martinelli. What are you guys thinking? How long is Martinelli out?
It says a fortnight. You looked up, didn't you?
Yeah, it
Heath?
says a fortnight at the moment. It's really hard to know straight after the game week. They don't give a lot of info straight away, particularly with these kind of muscle industries. Oh, not industries, injuries. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, I think it's even just like an interesting one to look at if he's on the waivers at the moment for the next couple of weeks. We'll have to wait and see what happens. We've got a few Champions League fixtures this week as well. So
Very interesting. Okay, next one.
Mm.
My boy Amdouni.
Dune Star.
Bit of a prospect in the preseason. I mean, I did draft him as a little outsider just to see what's what. And obviously, Burnley have had a bit of a slow start to the season, having a bye for one of their game weeks. So I hadn't really had a lot of time to see him. Anyway, he got a goal this week. Nice one from outside the box.
And he looks good.
And good timing,
Yeah.
like right before this double game week coming up in the next 2 weeks. So I think now it might be a nice segue just to talk about that double game week and who from the two teams should we be jumping on, because I think this is the week to do it if we're going to do that. So
Foster's red card, he'll be back on the 3rd of October, which...
the second game of their double.
Second game of the double.
Yeah. So
He's probably already taken.
yeah.
Brownhill has looked okay.
Brownhill was definitely one of their strongest contributors last year in the championship.
Yeah, he only got his first start this game, but he came off the bench in the third game and got an assist. Oh no, he scored. He scored. That's right. So that could be something to look at if they're available.
Okay. And is there anyone from Luton that's caught your eye? I mean, for me, not really, but
For me, either. Nothing's really impressed so much, but I know that I think Morris was probably one of their better prospects from last season.
so it could be a decent option just
Could be a
to
Morris.
jump on for that double.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of amazing stats running around for many of them. You could potentially be trying to take a punt on a defender. They've obviously conceded a lot of goals, but it is an Everton Burnley double up. It's probably the best they could ever have
That's
in
pretty
terms
good.
of a defensive.
Anderson
Take-
actually has looked good.
Yeah, a little bit of a punt.
Yeah.
It'd be hard because I really doubt they'll keep it cleany. But if you're looking for
They
something,
just might.
looking for something, you don't know.
Mm.
Okay. From the same game, just a shout out here. Hudson Odoi,
Ooh, baby.
ex-Chelsea lad. Sad to see him go. But
Oh, yeah.
fuck, looking at that goal, that looked like the stuff he was doing before he got injured.
Mm.
And fuck me. I mean, he just stops on the edge of the box, finesses it, just curls it in. Looks so confident.
Yeah.
That was a huge curler.
Wow. And that was his first start in a while. So, yeah, I'm really interested to see what he's capable of because that was a fucking nice goal. So I think it's worth getting excited over.
It's a really nice finish. He hasn't scored a lot of goals in his career, so it's
No.
a
Lot of hype around him, though.
lot of hype. But it's just
Bayern
interesting
wanted
to
him
see how
bad.
many he can get
Yeah.
in a season.
Yeah, there's a reason Chelsea offloaded him. But you know what we're the kings of? Just giving away a player and then they go,
Big time, baby.
catch fire. Okay, speaking of fire,
Mm-hmm.
Edouard. The man is on fire. He just can't stop.
Such a nice ball in from Mateta from the wing.
Yeah, really nice.
Lovely finish. They got a bit lucky with Martinez slipping
Mm.
as he's just setting himself, but still,
No, it was,
boys in form.
Yeah, he's got it going. He's got it going. And last one I just wanted to shout out here was Duran from Villa. Sorry.
Oh man, that finish.
I mean, kind of takes the ball on his chest. I mean, for starters, that was a juicy first touch, and then just volleys it home. So classy.
It was very nice. There was a couple of goal of season contenders this week, I think.
There
Goal of
was.
the season. You haven't shouted out goal of the season in ages.
I know.
It's sad.
I did it last season.
Not as much.
Not many this season yet.
Okay. Boys, I want to get into our worst and best for the week.
Okay.
Let's start with Hito because I feel like Miles and mine are going to be similar.
Oh, they could be for the worst for sure.
So I'll start with my best. I don't know if you boys saw this, but when Sheffield scored, they in the background you could see one of their fans celebrating, and he'd somehow like either jumped or fallen over the railing onto one of those canvas like roofs.
Oh,
and
what?
he was like rolling down.
Oh my God. That's amazing. No, I missed that.
And just before we saw what happened, they like cut away. So I don't know if he actually like fell off onto the ground, but he was like rolling down the canvas.
Oh my
Okay, any fans that were at the game and saw this, please write in and hope.
Gotta
send
hope
us
there's
some
another
video.
angle somehow.
please send a
It
video.
was fucking hilarious. And then my worst was just the fact that I was hoping to have VVD back this week, but he got the extra week suspension because
Yeah.
bad mouthing the ref.
Yeah.
He got his red card.
Too right.
Oh, yeah.
And I would have maybe got Cleany points. Who knows?
You never know.
Never know.
Probably
I don't think
not.
nothing was stopping Neto though.
Maybe not. Maybe
No.
not.
Definitely
Pretty,
not
lit, pretty lit.
Miles, why
Yeah.
don't you?
So my best is look, I was quite touched when they did the tribute to Libya at the start of a couple of games this week.
yeah,
I thought
and
that was-
Morocco too.
Yeah, and Morocco. Sorry. I thought that was a really classy touch by the teams that did it, and I
Yeah.
think we're definitely our thoughts and prayers. I'm not sure if we're religious here, but we can throw them out.
Good thoughts.
Yeah, good thoughts.
Positive vibe.
Prayers to the fantasy gods.
Yeah. And my worst was I stayed up till 1 a.m. when I was so tired to watch Chelsea give that woeful performance.
Oh, that's brutal.
It'll do it. That's
And
why I
I
watch
was
replays because I'm used to getting disappointed at 1 in the morning.
So tilted. Yeah, so that's me.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'll keep mine quick. This one might have gone unnoticed by a lot, but Ericsson did this crazy little turn to get out of trouble in the midfield this week. It was just like he kind of just like span around, was like blah, 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 and just gone. And I was like, it was like 2 or 3 defenders on him, and I was
Bit of a
like,
throwback.
oh, very nice.
Must have heard your praise last week, Miles.
Look, he's a big fan.
And then my worst is just Chile on the bench. I don't know what the fuck is going on
Yeah.
with Pochettino. He's killing me with this fucking left back thing and playing Levi Colwell there. It's pissing me off, and I want to see Chile
Well, it
in the
makes
position
team
he's
better,
meant
so
to play.
I don't get what's happening, but
Me neither.
we're not going to get into it because you and I would talk about this all night.
Yeah.
Let's get into
Stop, drop, and hold. Stop, drop, and hold. I just came up with that. Was it good? He was already dancing.
It's true.
Stop in the name of hope before you drop these pictures.
Okay. Well, we should get into it before we keep coming up with more songs. Look, I think we already mentioned him. We shouted him out earlier. Neto, he's a stop now.
He's got to be, right?
He's jumped right past us.
He had, because I was just like, I had my Wolves goggles on, but now he just is brimming with confidence.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell in the way he played against Liverpool, he was just really keen to take players on. He just seems to be stepping up as that guy. And we said that already. So, yeah, if you don't have Neto on your team, I think it's a good time.
Agree.
Any others from you boys for stops?
Boys, it's not one that many people can make a move on, but I think we just owe the man a bit of a shout out. Salah, 5 and gave, he's got a goal involvement every game, 5 games in a row, just 4 assists, 2 goals. Got to shout out the man.
Yeah. Well, I completely agree. And that moves to my one as well. I was going to say Awoniyi.
Yeah.
5 games, 5 contributions, 3 goals, 2 assists. I mean, I know we've shouted him in our stops before,
But it keeps going.
You
The
just
train
gotta-
keeps going. We gotta
All aboard,
recognize.
motherfuckers.
you know, we'll have to say his assist this week was quite fortunate that Callum Hudson and
Just rolled it off to him.
just bashes in a
Yeah.
worldie.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's
sure
what
you can call
happened.
He
it.
was looking quite good in watching the highlights of my boy Awoniyi. He was pretty nice. Like a few layoffs to leading to a few opportunities and shots on goal. Like
Yeah,
he was
he's-
playing a bit of the playmaker.
He's not greedy. It's
Yeah.
very Salah-esque because Salah's kind of turned into that role a bit.
It really has.
Mm.
I'm going to be interested to see actually if he gets more assists than goals this year.
Okay, now I'm interested to see if you guys have any drops.
I nearly had a drop, so I'm going to say it now because I did squeeze it into hold, but I'm going to put it in drop actually now, reconsidering Almiron.
He was dropped in our league.
Bit of discussion point.
I saw he was dropped and I kind of went, oh, there's an opportunity.
Mm.
And then I don't think he actually started this game.
The
And
reason I went
with Gordon looking well,
Yeah.
good, and Barnes looking good as well.
Just the reason I put him initially in hold was just because of their fixtures coming up. They are quite favourable. They got Sheffield, Burnley, West Ham, Palace, Wolves.
Yeah, people
So
have been talking up these fixtures.
Maybe it's a hold just through these, but I don't know, man. Like the more games it adds, it's like, what's the point of holding when you got maybe someone out there that we've been shouting out before that's adding some flavour? I don't know. What do you boys feel? Like he's not got a huge amount. Like his XG and XA has been like pretty bad.
Mm.
It's not very high.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's more competition this year. I did think potentially he was going to be the one to drop out of that.
Mm.
And if Gordon keeps playing the way he does, you know, we all know Barnes' potential.
Yeah. And he got a start this week. I don't know, Barnes owners were really, really happy about that. He didn't contribute, but just to get those
It's the
minutes
signs
is-
you want.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you guys be dropping or holding at this point?
Almiron,
Yeah. Would you wait through these fixtures?
I'd wait for the fixtures.
unless there was someone
Yeah.
worth picking up,
Neto.
Neto or, you know, there's a few others. I'll leave them for my waivers. I don't want you guys to steal them like you always complain about.
Okay, man. Okay, let's talk some other holds here. I've got 2 I want to bring up.
Yeah.
One's Isak.
Yeah.
Obviously not a start and gone a bit quiet. He started pretty hot and then
Did.
he's faded
Dropped
a little.
off, yeah.
I just think with those good fixtures, as you were just saying before, it's worth holding on to him. I mean, you'd have to be pretty pissed with him to drop him at this point.
I think they were looking at maybe Champions League. this
No,
week.
maybe.
They got AC Milan, so
Champions League, man. Hopefully they get
bit
knocked
of
out quick.
rotation.
Well, now that you mention Milan, I was about to say shout out to Milan's draft. Remember that guy picked up Isak as the third pick?
Oh,
Oh,
You know how
jeez.
they draft 3 weeks into the season because of
Mm.
head to head?
Yes. And he had the form of the 2 goals. Fuck, ever since then he's not done anything.
Bit of a drop off from your first draft
Yeah.
pick.
Oh mate, he's probably got 4 points from 3
You
games.
could have got Saka, like all of
Oh
these
my
other
God.
picks. He picks Isak.
Fuck.
So
And
funny.
Wilson looks good.
Not as bad as the
No.
guy that drafted KDB when he was already injured. Remember that?
That's a specialty. That's auto draft. Okay, my
was a
last
classic.
hold here, boys, is actually Chile.
Yeah, of course. You got to let that
I
play
want to
out.
wait and see.
Of course.
But he's been subbed early.
Yeah.
He's been played out of position. I don't know. Sometimes we think that's a good thing, but Chile just doesn't seem to be, in favor at the moment. So I'm really holding out hope, and I'm going to wait and see.
He's too, if he gets his spot back or it doesn't, go as we think it might go, he's too good of an asset to just drop and think, oh, he's lost his spot. If it's someone in a lesser team, less attacking, you'll just drop straight away. But
I'm gutted I missed out on a fucking clean sheet from him this week. Anyway,
They're rare at Chelsea these days, I'll tell you that.
I'd like to get into our fan questions, lads.
Fan question.
Yeah, there's
He's
a new
on the
intro
tu- he's on
every
the
week.
tunes.
Yeah, go on. Miles has got something.
Yeah, I got 2 this week, boys. Look, little bit of a regret coming in from Austin Levine.
We had Austin the other week, right?
Yeah, I've been chatting and he actually came up. He said, "Oh, hold up. Maybe a big gamble, but Tariq Lamptey just came back from injury. Do you reckon he starts?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it could be a little bit of a sleeper pickup." He didn't do it.
Oh no,
Pissed.
double assist.
Yeah. I think he might do it this week though. I'm hoping.
Is it too late? Is Purvis back?
Yeah, I'm hoping that he's not too high up so we could have the opportunity to get him. So that was more of just a comment question. But our boy Milan, it's funny that we've mentioned him twice in 2 seconds, but he wants to know, look, the game's changed so much in the last couple of years, mainly due to the fact that Premier League squads have so much depth. So how do we adapt to so much rotation in teams? He finds it hard not knowing who's going to start, especially with City. So he tries to avoid them, especially those kind of fringy ones.
Yeah.
Can you guys give a good view and discuss it, like just the best way to navigate it? And it's even coming from outside of City with Ramsdale and Raya starting this week,
It does get difficult, doesn't it? And
Mm.
it's pretty random at times, like to know who it's going to be. I mean, perfect example is like Haaland, obviously amazing player, but starts every game pretty much for Pep, gets a lot of minutes. You just never know really what the manager's going to do, which is somewhat out of your control, but you kind of have to mitigate your risks, I think. And that's a strategy I kind of took this year myself in trying to get players that I thought were going to play the most and be those like kind of marquee players for their teams. So like if we look back at my team this year, I've got, Saka, Eze, Bowen, Matoma.
Yeah, they're just
Like
they play so many minutes.
we're going to see a lot of minutes from those boys. Maybe Matoma's starting to get like, to that point where he might be under a bit of rotation risk. But I think kind of giving yourself like at least a couple of those players that you can lean on, because it's not just you that's going to suffer from this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like everyone's going to suffer from that kind of rotation. It's just,
if you've overcommitted, that's where
yeah.
you suffer more. I think also it's a lot harder for the big leagues. We get quite lucky in our leagues. We've got 8 men, and it does leave a lot of room for people to just play the waiver wire. And we all kind of just, I guess, agree with that strategy. And a lot of people do it. And it's quite common for someone to drop someone that's okay to take that punt. So we have a very, very busy waiver wire each week.
We do. Yeah.
And we're lucky in that we can have the flexibility of a bit of scale. But if you're in a 12, 10-man league, you get really impacted by the rotation, I think, because you get to the point where you're like, do I drop someone who's normally an okay starter to just pick up a really, really loose punt?
And you might just have to accept it in a deeper league, that there is going to be this rotational risk because you are getting what's that? In a 10-man from us, you're getting 30 extra players. 12-man, there's 60 extra players in that league. So
That's a lot.
you're just going to have to accept it. And probably my final thought, besides from agreeing with everything you guys have said, is maybe you can look at the strategy of picking up players that are playing the same position. You know, like in the past, we've had the Chile and Alonso double up. I know that they're not ever so present, but there are still some out there. And I might actually do a bit of a deconstruction over the next week and maybe present something next pod that shows a couple of positions that you could double up on those players.
I had the thought this week even because
With who?
Matoma
Oh, okay.
and Fatty. I'd heard some stuff that Fatty plays off that side, and I was kind of like, oh.
You want to back yourself
I was
up.
kind of, at first I went, oh, doubling up Brighton there, like, I don't know, rotation, da-da-da. And then I was like, oh, shit, what if they're both playing the same position? I'll just rotate them, and then hopefully they're both on fire, and I just fucking
Yeah.
kill it. Who knows? But there is some benefit to that strategy too.
And I think that's where it also comes back to not overcommitting, like you said, with the risk, because you could probably only do that once. You can't have like 2 or 3
No.
double ups, because then your whole bench is basically just backups.
Yeah.
So,
It's got to be the right player.
but I also would just think if you're in the deep leagues and you're stuck with those things where you have to live with it, you've got to really just commit to learning about these players, analyzing when they don't get picked and played,
Yeah.
and if it's worth holding, and then maybe leveraging for trades when they have those little bursts. I think you got to be more open about like, how can I just be better than someone else in my league by upgrading, as opposed to I can't pick anyone else and I'm a bit stuck.
That's good.
You got to go
Completely
deeper. You
right.
got to put the work in. I think with more people, we can get away with it in a smaller league.
Yeah. And it's always handy to have mates that follow other teams, because you kind of get a bit, you know, you're never going to follow every team as closely as if you follow your own. So if you know someone outside of your league can give you a bit of info on the team and try and get an idea of a lineup before it comes out, you know, and there are sources out there that are pretty good at guessing the lineups. So I don't know if that's any help, but
Yeah, I think so.
It's a good question though.
It is.
yeah, it is. It's true. I know I avoid City.
It's getting
players.
harder.
I
'cause
avoided
there's just,
City this
there's
year.
just more and more money in the league, like,
Yeah.
and teams are just
They're looking
stacking their teams.
juicy. Like I'm looking at I don't know, where's Tavares playing? Nuno Tavares. Like he moved from Arsenal to I can't remember, it was
Forest. Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, it's just like filled with like the extra players
Yeah.
that like the big teams drop off as well. They're good, still great players. Anyway, it's crazy.
It is, yeah.
Okay, let's get on to our waivers this week, boys.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
I'm going to start this week.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'm going to go. Oh, wow. I just seen someone's written some inflammatory comments here. I see Miles just tried to fucking steal one again.
I know, I didn't even
Classic
read it.
textbook. All right. I'm going to start with. That's why I wanted to go first, because I knew Miles was going to fucking steal my pickups. I'm going to start with the one that he just fucking deleted. Hudson Odoi. Now, that was a stunning goal. He had very high prospects. Miles is cacking it here because he's just fucking done it again. He's got very high prospects from the past. I'd be very interested to see if he can kind of come back. He never quite looked the same after he had a pretty bad, I think it was Achilles injury.
Yeah.
But he was like wanted badly by Bayern. We weren't willing to sell. Like he was a pretty highly regarded player.
Yeah.
And had some really good performances in his very early Chelsea career. So if he can come back to any form, I'd be watching him closely, because that goal was fucking stunning. And if he can keep that up, or even just keep some momentum off the back of that, worth it. Amdouni, we mentioned him before, got a double game week. Maybe one of those guys that isn't in a team, hasn't been picked up, hasn't really done anything yet. This goal was his first. Hopefully he rides that form into this double game week. And then finally, I've got Mateta. Mateta's got 12 points in the last 2 game weeks, and they're the 2 he started. So if he can keep the momentum of starts, he is looking pretty good out there. That was a nice cross from him into Edouard. So, yeah, they're my 3 this week.
Yeah, he seems to be partnering well with Awonyi, so maybe it's going to become a bit of a starting 2 up front.
Awonyi? Edouard.
Edward, sorry, I'm thinking wrong team.
Jeez, I got
Yeah,
confused.
Edward.
He can't stop thinking about his players.
Yeah, fuck off.
Hey, just living pretty up the top of the league.
You're in fucking La La Land, mate.
You know I'm going to take these picks before they even get to you.
So, mate,
Prick.
I'm still pulling away, so it doesn't matter. My first pick up this week is an old face, Castagna,
Yeah, I did notice him this week.
signed for Fulham,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he got his first start this week.
Mm.
Pretty easy clean sheet against Luton, but I did like the fact that he got all three bones, and I also like their fixtures.
Mm.
Palace, Chelsea, Sheffield for the next three. So I just think defensively that could be a very nice trio of fixtures, even though
Yep.
there's been some goals from Palace, but I think those three are pretty solid. Then they've got a little bit of a tougher run, but short term, I think that's a nice defensive pick.
No, completely agree.
And I'm going another defensive pick this week. Again, I'm just doubling down on a point I'll probably be making all season long. Wolves are versing Luton this week. Wolves defense
Yeah.
just seems like an easy punt.
Yeah.
Against that team. They look pretty good against Liverpool. Historically, they have been good, so I think it's an easy option.
And look, this is how you come second every year because you play the waiver wire really, really well, and it almost gets you. there,
almost gets
you know. So, look, listeners,
What's the part that's missing? That's what we don't know.
Listen
Haaland.
to Hito.
Yeah, don't have Haaland.
I mean, I'm open if you want to send some trades my way.
All right. Give us your pickups.
Look, I'm going to go with Bernardo Silva. I know this is the first thing that he's done, but he is a form player. And, you know, I think that you just got to jump on it when, you know, if you actually look historically, he scores in groups. And then my last one, it's a shout out to Austin. It's got to be Tariq Lamptey.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, how long is Estepinian out?
Well,
He hasn't got an injury flag on the site, but I think if you got the room, it's worth the punt to see if it works him in there. But
and maybe to Estupiñán owners, Tariq could be a very big
Oh, a little
potential.
double up.
Yeah, that could be a really good double up.
Yeah,
this
if you got the
season.
space, maybe.
Yeah. So that's it for me.
I like
Well
to double
done,
up.
boys. Well, that was a really fun podcast. If you're still listening, you clearly like the pod. So please, thank you. But also leave us a review or a rating or something. And also, we'd love to hear from people. If there's anything you wish that we were addressing in the podcast, or if there was something we could do differently, please reach out because, you know, we're pretty open to changing the format. We've changed it again this year.
Look, we do it for you guys. We don't do it for us.
Nah, well,
Yeah, we
a
fucking
little
hate doing
bit.
this, don't we?
Yeah.
You don't like coming and see me every week?
I mean, you know, do you want me to answer that?
You fucking suited up. You suited up.
Suit and Buddha, buddy.
But yeah, and obviously the channels you can kind of reach out to us are through FPL Draft Boys on Twitter or at Instagram
That's it.
as Draft Boys with a Z.
With a Z.
The boys.
And on that note, see you later, boys.
Peace.
Bye.
Draft Boys.